Hey, what's up guys? Today, I'll show you a science fiction action film, Tremor 6, A Cold Day in Hell. Spoilers ahead, watch out and take care. This film opens with a team of young researchers collecting ice core samples of glaciers in Canada's Nunavut province. One of the pieces of equipment hits something in the ice. It alarms the husky dogs. The woman also gets a seismic spike in the ice, which means something is causing vibration underneath. The ice ground soon grumbles, followed by the cracks. The woman checks it, and a graboid emerges and eats her and her smelly part. The predator then grabs the ice core sample digging equipment from under the ground, dragging one of the men with it. The graboid then crawls after the last man, who's running for his shitty life. However, the predator still catches and eats him. The scene then transitions to a tax agent arriving at Burt Gummer's property and informing him that his tax position has been deemed frivolous by the International Revenue Services. This means that the very property they stand on foot has been seized. The agent even taunts Burt about confiscating any and all of the items on the property. This enraged Burt, but before they can get physical with each other, the tax agent leaves the property with a smile. After that, Travis startles his father, Burt, by appearing at the back door. It turns out Travis has been eavesdropping the whole time, but he couldn't care less about that. On the other hand, another group of researchers find the chopped-off body parts of the previous researchers from the first scene. Meanwhile, Burt dreams about a graboid attacking him, and he ends up falling off his small hammock. After Burt's waking up, Travis shows up and tells him to go downstairs, as he has a lady on the phone looking for him. It's from a doctor, a station leader of an international research team. She informs Burt about a graboid in the Canadian Arctic, which Burt hardly believes as graboids are desert phenomena. The doctor's associate, Valerie, takes the phone from her and impresses Burt with her knowledge regarding the said predator. After realizing it can be a good opportunity for his name to be in fame again, Burt accepts the distress call for help. A sexy pilot in the Arctic facility flies the sexy plane that Burt and Travis are on. While in the air, they encounter an ass blaster that attacks their aircraft, only to be shredded into pieces by the airfoils. However, the attack damages the plane's engine. So left with no choice, pilot maneuvers the plane onto the ground and lands safely. Shortly after they land, an agent from the Defense Research Agency arrives with his men. He warns Burt not to disturb their research while hunting, to which Burt rebuts that they need to find another place to do their research. However, the agent dismisses that and returns to their research facility. As they leave, Valerie and the resident boy greet them. Valerie and the resident boy take them to Boyd Canyon Arctic Research Station, where they meet the doctor and another researcher, Dr. Ferris. Burt informs them about their encounter with an ass blaster while in the air, causing their engine to blow. This alarms Ferris, as he needs Pilot to fly him back to Montreal to report. However, Pilot doesn't care about that and leaves to fix her engine. As Ferris follows her, the doctor introduces herself to Travis, who's enticed by the fact that she's a beauty in brains. At the station, Burt and Travis meet two more personnel, the facility manager and Hansen, a PhD in geomorphology. The doctor informs them about the 3 mutilated bodies in the glacial fields. Hansen adds that the Arctic is experiencing its warmest season due to global warming, hence the lack of snow. The melting ice, warming temperature, and evolution explain the presence of graboids and ass blasters. Burt then has a private conversation with the doctor, asking her about the Defense Research Agency. The doctor informs him that the agency arrived a couple months ago to work on a US-Canadian project. This confirms Burt's suspicion that the agency is researching the predators to use as bioweapons, which makes sense as the agency has a history of using animals as weapons. Their conversation gets interrupted by Travis, who informs them that they have ass blasters in the area. Everyone immediately gears up, and while looking outside for Ferris, an ass blaster lands on the roof. Burt warns them to stay still, as there are graboids around because of ass blasters. At this time, a government employee stops his car and talks to Ferris about the recent graboid attack, but an ass blaster suddenly takes the employee away. Ferris runs away in panic and fear for his life, but accidentally falls onto the ground. He crawls under the communication tower to hide from the ass blaster, which destroys the wirings. Left with no choice, Burt wears his heat-blocking gear before going outside to save Ferris, while the doctor and Travis stay inside, ready with their weapons. After seeing it preparing to attack Ferris, Burt fires his rifle at the predator. The ass blaster flies away in response, so Burt quickly runs to Ferris and snaps him out of shock and fear. After that, he gives Ferris another heat-blocking gear, and they start walking cautiously back to the station. However, Burt suddenly drops to his knees as he feels excruciating pain in his system. Ferris imitates Burt, thinking it's to save him and unaware of the fact that the ass blaster is behind, ready to attack them anytime. The doctor and Travis go out with their rifles and fire at the predator as it charges toward Burt. Although still in pain, Bert fires his pistols at the ass blaster, blasting it into the fire. However, Bert loses consciousness and soon wakes up in the station's clinic. Valerie is the first face that welcomes him, and she informs him that a Mondo tapeworm has been removed from his intestine by surgery. Bert then notices her boots, and Valerie proudly shares that they're made of a graboid skin, handmade by her dad for her mom. Travis enters and interrupts them, so Valerie exits the room to give them a moment. Bert firmly asks Travis about the HK-91 hanging on his back, but the doctor comes in before Travis can say something. On the other hand, the agent supervises his female scientist, who's setting up equipment in Meltwater Hot Springs, 8 kilometers away from the base. They soon hear rumbling in the water, and the scientist starts walking backward cautiously to observe her surroundings better. The scientist accidentally steps onto an egg, prompting a graboid-like creature to attack her underwater. She tries to break free, and the agent's men fire their guns at the creature, but their attempts go in vain as the water turns red. Meanwhile, Bert's right eye has turned red as the doctor's colleague informs him that he has been infected with a parasitic organism that is slowly killing its host. But that's not all. They have identified the parasite originating from a graboid, and the blood behind his eye is caused by cerebral inflammation. The doctor adds that Bert needs antibodies from an alive graboid. Travis questions how Bert could possibly be infected by a graboid, and Bert remembers being inside the predator's belly before. The doctor tells him that his body is failing, but Bert doesn't care about that, as he's dedicated to hunting these predators down and killing them. Suddenly, a graboid's GPS tentacle traces and grabs a colleague, so Travis and Bert quickly hold her arm. However, the second tentacle wraps around her fat waist, and the third grabs her from her groin. The graboid eats her in front of everybody's eyes, so the doctor quickly blocks the window as instructed by Bert, while he tells the others to pack up and gear up as they are under attack. They block all doors and windows, and then load every gun. Bert's seismic monitor isn't working because the communication tower of the research station has been destroyed by an ass blaster, and the facility manager can fix it in at least a day. They have a satellite phone, but Ferez, the coward he is, has taken the phone and left them without saying a word. So Hansen looks for Ferez, while the doctor informs Bert and Travis about the geographics of the land. Bert instructs Travis to go to the hangar, where the resident boy and pilot are, which is 120 meters away from the station. Travis gives them a heads-up through the walkie-talkie. The ground suddenly grumbles as they realize that the area is an open space for graboids. Everyone stays still. The rumbling stops after a while, but Bert informs them that the graboid has caught another wind of vibration. Truth be told, the coward Ferez is outside, running to his car with a suitcase. They immediately go out to stop Ferez, with Hansen running after him. Hansen repeatedly attempts to stop him, but Ferez refuses to listen. So he can only sit in his car and curse as the graboid attacks his vehicle from underneath, flipping it over. Fortunately, Hansen quickly avoids the attack and runs to a piece of drilling equipment. Everyone outside the station returns inside as they see the graboid grabbing a wounded Ferez to eat. The facility manager suggests going to the hangar, as there are enough weapons and bombs to kill the graboids. However, it has a compacted chipstone floor, which is supported by steel. Just then, Travis gets an idea, and he suggests using the hangar's generator for the steel casings directly into the bedrock, making a makeshift underground electric fence. The facility manager agrees to do the fence without a doubt, so Bert splits the team into two groups to carry out their plan. As they prepare to leave, the agent suddenly comes in with two of his men. He informs them about what happened at the Meltwater's hot springs, but Bert blames it on him, still thinking he's hunting graboids to use as bioweapons. However, the agent denies such accusations. Suddenly, the floor grumbles, so everyone fires their weapons at it. One of the tentacles grabs one of the agent's men before crawling away. After that, they go out, where Travis makes himself bait by driving the motorbike with a lighted rope connected to a gallon of gas, while the others run to the hangar. Travis drives it far enough before jumping away from the vehicle. At the same time, the graboid emerges and swallows the motorbike. The graboid's diabetic remains scatter along the area as it explodes, so everyone quickly runs to the hangar. However, another graboid is coming from their side, so Bert and the facility manager run to Hansen, while Travis holds the doctor's hand as the graboid tentacle grabs her leg. Seeing this, Bert and Valerie shoot the tentacles until it lets the doctor go. The other tentacles are still alive, so Bert gets an idea. He instructs Hansen to pee as he has taken 8 energy drinks, making his urine hot and stinky. Hansen does as instructed, and his pee successfully catches the graboid's attention, allowing them to run to the hangar. However, only 3 of them make it to the hangar, as Bert falls onto his knees after feeling pain in his system. The facility manager immediately makes the underground fence with the resident boy and pilot's help, while Bert runs onto the stone, avoiding the incoming graboid. Bert soon loses consciousness, so the facility manager turns on the underground fence, electrocuting the graboid underneath. The graboid is still alive and crawling toward the Defense Research Agency's facility. Bert wakes up from the sound of the predator attacking their research neighbor, allowing Bert to run to the hangar. While making the bombs, Bert and Travis get into a heated argument, as Travis wants to catch a graboid to save Bert's life. Bert changes the subject and brings up the HK-91 again, and Travis replies that it is from Bert's wife. Bert refuses to be hooked and reeled into talking about his affairs, but Travis gets an idea from him. However, the drilling tower's alarm goes off before he can share his idea. This causes the graboid to attack the tower, putting Hansen's life in danger. Valerie goes down from the roof to help him, while the people in the hangar create vibration sounds with tools to lead the graboid away from Hansen. As it almost reaches the hangar, the facility manager turns on the underground fence, hitting it with a higher voltage and exploding the graboid. Valerie and Hansen run to the hangar, where Bert collapses again and the generator malfunctions. The doctor checks his eye, and it's now bleeding, so they prepare to return to the station clinic. The doctor and the resident boy take Bert to the clinic, while Travis helps the survived agent. However, Travis makes a deal with him first. The agent agrees to Travis's conditions that the government remove the tax liens from Bert's property and exempt them from paying property taxes for the rest of their lives. Just then, they feel a graboid coming, so the facility manager distracts it with his bombs, while Travis and the agent run to the station. As soon as they do, Bert and Travis get into another heated argument. Bert's hard-headed ass refuses to be saved, but when he sees Travis's determination to capture a graboid, he asks for the HK-91 to arm himself. Travis wears Bert's combat vest, sunglasses, and hat before they face the graboid. Pilot has repaired the airplane, while the facility manager and the resident boy are preparing an old container. And so, the plan begins. Valerie lures the graboid using the pendulum ball. When the predator consumes it, Pilot flies the connected hook toward the container. With Travis's command, Pilot lets go of the reels, while the others pierce the reels inside the container, spearing the graboid from the side and holding it in place. They then cut off its tentacles, so it cannot attack and kill them. Travis takes the huge syringe from the doctor before going into the graboid's mouth. He endures the gross feeling and draws venom from its internal gland sac, which they then inject Bert. However, the doctor detects no pulse or heartbeat, meaning that they're too late. As Travis prepares to mourn his father's death, Bert yells at him for incorrectly using the HK-91. Travis is overjoyed to see his father still alive and kicking. Travis returns the gun and Bert's other stuff before going outside, where the agent hands them the paperwork freeing them from taxes. The agent also reveals that using graboid as bioweapons is a good idea, but Hansen blows up the predator before they can use it. The film ends with Travis and the doctor sharing a tongue massage goodbye, while Bert is still not used to Travis calling him Pops. This is Daniel CC Movie Channel. Stay safe and enjoy your day.